Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, just last week I brought out a video saying I'm not sure how, remember the strategy for Virgin Cruise Lines and the Scarlet Lady about wanting that young, hip audience, and they weren't really going for senior cruisers or experienced cruisers. They wanted a younger, more hip vibe. And I said, I don't really know now that we've got hit with everything we've got hit with in the world, if that's going to work out, but I'll tell you what. I like their game plan for their next cruise ship. So what am I talking about? Well, right now, the Scarlet Lady is set up to be sailing in Miami, which is a very popular cruise port. It's the biggest cruise port in the world, and there are tons of options. And going to the Caribbean and going into Florida, Mexico, those are all very common cruises. People do that sometimes 3-4 times a year. So it's not something out of the ordinary. So the reason to go on the Scarlet Lady would be for the ship. And if you're kind of iffy, I'm kind of a traditionalist, I don't really like this, I don't like the new vibe, it's harder to bring more people to it. However, their next ship, called the Valiant Lady, was just floated out last week. And it's going to be stationed in Barcelona with stops in Ibiza. It's going to run basically 3 itineraries. Ibiza will be included in all 3 of the itineraries, 7-day cruises at a Barcelona return, as well, stops in like Monte Carlo. So if you figure those kind of ports, like if you go into Miami and you say, okay, here we go, we're going to Jamaica, we're going to Cozumel, we're going to go to, Grand Caymans, those are very Caribbean, lighthearted, sit on the beach vibe places. However, when you're looking at Ibiza and Monte Carlo, those are a much, they're known for parties and, beautiful people on the beaches and a young hip crowd, and that's where, that's where the young people go. That's where movie stars go. That's where the rich go. So it seems to me that those itineraries are much more attractive to this kind of cruise line. I actually think that looking for that new cruiser, the younger cruiser in that area, is going to work really well. And I actually think people from North America will fly to Barcelona to get on the Valiant Lady before they'd get on the Scarlet Lady, just because of the itineraries are so much more exotic and fun sounding than the Caribbean. Caribbean is a very fun place to go. I go there all the time, many times. But it's a very traditional cruise, and it's very, you're gonna ski, water ski, you're gonna go on a jet boat, you're gonna go hiking, you're gonna do zip lines. Where going out to Monte Carlo, the home of the rich and famous, with all the yachts and things like that going on in the cruise port. And then you also go out to Ibiza, which is known as one of the party capitals of the rich and famous. Those are places that are drawing in the young, hip person who wants to try cruising. And not only that, Ibiza, they are going to have an overnight in Ibiza. So not only can you get there, you can go to those parties at night. You can visit the rich and the famous and become one of those people, if only for a night. And that might just draw in the exact crowd that this cruise line is looking at. So while I had my doubts, the ship looks, fine. I've only seen pictures. I haven't been able to get on the ship because it only premiered in Europe, and then we got hit by all this. So I will do a review when this cruise line starts to sail and we can get on those ships. I am going on this ship to see for myself what it is, and I'll show you what I like and what I dislike. So I can only make my comments by the pictures that I've seen and other YouTubers from Europe who have been on the ship for their tour, one day tour I think it was. So I can, and I've seen mixed reviews. Emma didn't like it from Emma Cruises. Ben and David, they liked it. So you can probably see it probably based on your personalities, right? It's just the way it is. And I think you throw in Ibiza, Monte Carlo, and destinations like that, and you're hitting a much different audience than you will for the Caribbean. When you think young, hip vibe, you don't think Caribbean. You think laid back, relaxed, taking it easy. And that's exactly what you're going to get out of a Miami cruise, where sailing on the Valiant Lady looks like a really, really good idea. In fact, if I was Virgin Cruise Lines, if they had the opportunity to start sailing right away in the Med, like some cruise lines are hoping to do in August, I'd be shipping the Scarlet Lady over to Barcelona and try that cruise line out. Because instead of sitting here in Miami for months at a time, maybe set it over there and get that ship up and running. That might just set a really good prime example for that cruise line going forward. Well, let me know what you guys think. Do you think that's a better itinerary than Miami? I kind of think that might be a great idea for them, especially with the crowd that they're looking for. Well, I hope you appreciate this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Till next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.